Hi.
Hi.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It feels like we were just here. Oh, wait, because we were. Wait, it feels like I was just with you all day. It feels like that. Wait, that's because that is true. Really nice to see you guys. Anybody? Maybe a couple of you guys are not regular folks who hang out with us. If you are new to Congregation Sherith Israel, sorry to embarrass you, will you stand up and introduce yourselves really loudly so we can know who our new friends are? Great. And are you guys checking out different faith communities? Are you in a Judaism class or a world religions class? Welcome. We're really happy to have you.
We're in a Judaism class.
We're in a Judaism class. Yes, we're in a big Judaism class. Welcome. Welcome. You're always welcome. We have lots of classmates of yours who come through here, and we love having you guys. Anybody else new to Sherith Israel? Has everybody else been here before? Okay. Well, welcome back. We will begin our service with a welcome by Ruth Auerbach, who will share maybe something about her challah, which I just read about. It's Mimi Goss's fault. And it wasn't Mimi Goss who invented it. I think she did it in the name of Ann Baer. This goes on and on.
That's true of most chalot. Shabbat Shalom, everybody here and at home. My name is Ruth Auerbach. I'm the vice chair of the Hills of Eternity Board. I'm very excited. I'm still on that high holy day high. And I'm very excited to see as many of you as who are here tonight, usually after a midweek holiday, we don't see so many people, but I'm sure there are some of you out at home too. And I'm really excited about the preschool and the Sherith and the Hills of Eternity Challenge grant. So get your donations in there because they'll be worth twice as much as they were before. And as to the challah, it's apricot and chocolate because Rabbi Jessica mentioned it at the High Holy Days, and it's one of my favorite combinations, and so I had to try it.
Beautiful.
But that's more of that.
Sorry, I'm going to eat the whole entire thing, and you guys won't get to even taste any. Sorry about that. They say, the rabbi said that the Messiah will come and we teach in the name of our teachers. So in the name of, I don't know, Mimi Goss and Ann Baer and all who inspired her, see, it applies to challah too. We can keep teaching and passing on our traditions and our love of Judaism. I should have said, in case I haven't met you guys, I'm Rabbi Jessica Graff. Hi. This is Cantor Toby Glaser. Over here, George Altschuler, our rabbinic intern, and Jonathan Dimmick down there. You moved the piano. I'm totally disoriented now. So welcome, everybody. I would like to invite Kathy Laster, who is a very important person here. Can you tell us something about her?
She is my mother, and she is here from Australia, and I get my voice from this wonderful lady. So She's staying till tomorrow, and it's been a joy to have her in the kahal, and thank you so much to the community for welcoming her so warmly. Now, the ultimate test is if you can light the matches.
I know about these Sherith Israel
Alright,
matches.
You've got to hold her on both sides. I'll hold the thing for you. There you go.
Okay, hold on both sides and do it
Just,
there.
no, there.
Okay.
There you go.
First go, right? You saw it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu להגליק נר של שבת.
Amen. Yasher koach. Thank you, Mom. Shabbat shalom.
I was just going to say, it's nice to have you lighting candles in the same time zone, because you're usually lighting them Saturday morning at like 11 with us or something in a little box. So welcome.
Oh. Going downstairs. We're going to come down for Kabbalat Shabbat.
So I just want to share that I'm so happy to be here with you all tonight. This is such a lovely group of people, and it's such a beautiful night with the fog. As you all know, I love the San Francisco fog. So it's really wonderful to share Shabbat with you and to celebrate with Shir Ladonai on page 13.
שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום יום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, ככל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני, ומחולל מאוד, נורא הוא, על כל אלוהים, יאי די 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 די
We continue now to celebrate creation with Mizmor LeDavid on page 18.
מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד הרים. יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, yay die 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 die, yay die 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 die, yay die 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 die, yay die 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 die, yay die 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 die, yay die 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 die,
We continue now by welcoming in the mystical Sabbath spouse with the Chadodi on page 20.
לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד השם התפארת ונתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי הם מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה לך דודי אבות השוס לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שדברי, כבוד אדוני אלייך נגלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We continue now with our Baruch, the call to prayer, which can be found on page 20. Page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המריב, הרבים.
Page 32. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
In traditional communities, after Yom Kippur ends, the traditional custom is to go straight into Ma'ariv, to daven the normal weekday prayer if Yom Kippur is on a weekday. So there's this idea in Judaism that time keeps going, that we keep going into the next thing. And of course, there's also a custom after Yom Kippur to go out after Yom Kippur is over and to begin building the sukkah, to begin working on the next holiday. So in that spirit, Cantor Glasser tonight is going to chant for us Micha Mocha with Sukkot Nusach, with the melody of Sukkot.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, מלכותה ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, יאי די 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 dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. ונאמר כי פרע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We pray now for shelter, peace, and protection. We say, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise up our guardian to life renewed. Hashkivenu is on page 42.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום. והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We turn now to our prayer for healing, and we call to mind those in need of healing, page 253.
שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
We pray this evening for the healing of Tzur Miriam Bat Hana Moshe, Jim Blattner, Bob Fonaro, Sima Grabovitsky, William Kurian, Agnes Rothblatt, Blake Alton Steinberg, and those whom we mention now.
שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We now consider the joy of Shabbat, how Shabbat has kept the Jewish people, and how this sacred ritual of coming together once a week and celebrating Shabbat has enhanced our lives. Vishamru is on page 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל, את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
We turn now to the central prayer of this evening's liturgy, the Amidah. Please rise, page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, u'mevii geula livnei bneihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
This is not on. There we go. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Do we, Peter, is there a cordless mic that's easily accessible or not? Is this cordless? Okay. Peter is going to maybe work on that while I put this one on. That would that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Zach is going to fix it up for us. Perfect. Thank you. So while they're taking care of that, I will say this is my favorite time of year. You can tell because I'm wearing my Sukkot shoes. And I think it's been a year since I've worn them. I love Sukkot. I've always loved Sukkot. I love pumpkin things, and I love the fall, and I loved living in New York, and I loved the scarves. I just love the whole time of year. When I lived in Jerusalem, I always loved watching. There was something amazing about kind of this time of year. I always loved watching at the end of each holiday how people who lived there kind of moved back into regular life. And right after Yom Kippur in Jerusalem and around Israel, especially in the Black Hat communities, I remember seeing people later on the night of Yom Kippur ending, running around with pieces of wood to build their sukkah. And it was kind of amazing to me that, thank you so much. Do you mind, will you send these, wait, actually, are you available to like have people? So I loved having people, I loved watching people run around with these like giant pieces of wood and move to the next holiday. And then I loved watching all week as these tiny, tiny sukkahs went up on people's, like on a mirpeset, on a tiny little deck, like a little patio. Right outside your window in Jerusalem, people would put up these beautiful sukkahs. They were everywhere. And as you walk around in Israel, you see these wonderful farmers markets for the etrog and the lulav. So this is the problem with passing out paper, right, is that everybody like goes off to somewhere else. But these markets where people would be able to go and check out their etrog, and Sukkot kind of took over in the land of Israel. I loved it. And I was thinking about this yesterday. A rabbi friend posted on Facebook that it was, I was telling Merle, it was the season Leshev Basofa, which is the blessing Leshev Basukah. It's what we do when we get to our sukkah. But she was suggesting we Leshev Basofa, to actually sit ourselves down on the sofa. Kind of this time of exhaustion, but we're right in the middle of the holidays. There are 2 more wonderful holidays, the best ones, yet to come. And I was thinking about this yesterday morning as I was totally exhausted, wanting to Leshev Basofa. And I got this amazing delivery. It's like the best, these are the best days, I think, of my year. And these guys from Hills of Eternity, our wonderful cemetery, came with all of this schach, which just happens to be my favorite Hebrew word too, only adding to my joy at this time of year, the word schach, which is the palm fronds that go on the top of a sukkah, if you happen to be lucky enough to have palm fronds. And it just so happens we have this beautiful cemetery with these beautiful palm trees that need to be trimmed. So thank you, all of you, for trimming the palm trees at this time of year, because some of these palm fronds ended up in my backyard yesterday morning. And as I was looking at these palm fronds waiting to be put on the roof of a sukkah, I was thinking about the place that they came from, as I do every year, this amazing community that we have that maintains Hills of Eternity, that takes care of this beautiful cemetery, that's kind of our, somebody once said, our country home, and I always sort of think of that. It's like kind of it's a continuation of our home here, but kind of in the suburbs a little bit. And it's a beautiful place that I love walking around and I love being at. And I love that our community that's there comes in to be with us in our sukkah here with those palm fronds and in my backyard. I was just thinking of being linked together. So I don't know how many of you know that Merle happens to be, they all know. I don't think they all know. I know, but I didn't tell them this year. Merle is like the world's best, I'm going to put it on Yelp, sukkah builder. Now, it's a short list. I mean, it's true. It's a short list of sukkah builders on Yelp. But this is the best one ever. The guys in New York, we had to fly them out here, and the time difference, it's not so good. And then they don't eat the food, it's complicated. So Merle's the best around here, let's say, or maybe anywhere in the whole wide world. But he came over and helped me put these beautiful palm fronds together with the sukkah and put them on top. We hit pretty much all the greatest hits of the High Holiday Liturgy today. I mean, it was pretty good. But the one that we didn't get to has been something that's been in my mind so much, Unatana Tokef, this year. And we think about it, I mean, every year, it's this very powerful poem, I think. But I've been thinking about it a lot, and I was wondering why I've been thinking about it so much. And I think the answer is because we've been living through a pandemic. I mean, we've been living in this time where we had no control over anything, really. And we were very aware of this fact that how we live, we have a little bit of control over, but what happens in the world around us, we really don't. And how long we're here and what we face, we really don't. So that's been very present in my mind. And then when I went to read last week's Torah portion, those of you who are at Torah study, we had this conversation about Moses and the end of his life coming right between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And it struck me this year in a way that it never had before, that it's like Unatana Tokef. Moses is kind of saying, I've reached the end of my time, which I can't control, and yet I'm part of something much larger, and it's happening around me. And it seemed so powerful to me that Moses would be saying this to us every year in the Shabbat, on the Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So I still kind of see that prayer in the backdrop of what we're doing. We're not quite at Sukkot yet. Sukkot starts on the 15th of Tishrei, which this year happens to be Sunday, always 5 days after Yom Kippur. But we're kind of in this in-between time. So we're not really up to Sukkot readings yet, but we just came through this experience of rebirth and kind of the simulation of death, and then coming out of Yom Kippur back to life, eating and drinking and taking off the white and, all that we do on Yom Kippur to symbolize death. And now we're back to life, but in this very fragile way that is Sukkot, that is Ecclesiastes and Kohelet, that is all that we're going to read coming up. So I brought these texts, and Zach just ran off, but if he's coming back, hopefully, he can help us by having this microphone. Oh, Alan has it. Thank you so much. Great. So I just wanted to take a look at these texts because we'll really look at Ecclesiastes and Kohelet, which is known as Kohelet in Hebrew. Happens to be my favorite text, which fits nicely with my favorite holiday, my favorite season, and my favorite shoes. It all sort of goes together. But I wanted to take a look at just a little tiny bit. If you know any words of Kohelet, you probably know these. And if you look at what I'm going to call the front of this sheet, Ecclesiastes 3, 1-13, everybody see that? So I'm just going to read you a few of these verses. A season is set for everything, a time for every experience under heaven, a time for being born and a time for dying, a time for planting and a time for uprooting the planted, a time for slaying and a time for healing, a time for tearing down and a time for building up, a time for weeping and a time for laughing, a time for wailing and a time for dancing, a time for throwing stones and a time for gathering stones, a time for embracing and a time for shunning embraces, a time for seeking and a time for losing, a time for keeping and a time for discarding, a time for ripping and a time for sewing, a time for silence and a time for speaking, a time for loving and a time for hating, a time for war and a time for peace. You're probably familiar with the song, right? I won't sing it to you, don't worry. But I think coming right after Yom Kippur and sitting in the sukkah in this fragile space, physically, in this fragile space emotionally, having just experienced Yom Kippur, I think these words take on a beautiful meaning. And I brought you on the back of this page, with my very poor photocopy, a poem called A Man in His Life, written by Yehuda Amichai. So to add to all my other favorites, he happens to be my favorite Israeli poet. Maybe my favorite poet, I don't know. And I love what he has to say because he always comments on some kind of biblical text or some kind of text from our tradition and brings it into the modern world for us. He wrote this: "A man in his life has no time to have time for everything. He has no room to have room for every desire. Ecclesiastes was wrong to claim that. A man has to hate and love all at once, with the same eyes to cry and to laugh, with the same hands to throw stones and to gather them, make love in war and war in love, and hate and forgive and remember and forget, and order and confuse and eat and digest what long history does in so many years. A man in his life has no time. When he loses, he seeks. When he finds, he forgets. When he forgets, he loves. When he loves, he begins forgetting. And his soul is knowing and very professional. Only his body remains an amateur, always. It tries and fumbles. He doesn't learn and gets confused, drunk and blind in his pleasures and pains. In autumn, he will die like a fig, shriveled, sweet, full of himself. The leaves dry out on the ground, and the naked branches point to the place where there is time for everything." So I wanted to ask you what you think of this poem and of Ecclesiastes and of how this might connect to Yom Kippur, what you're thinking about in these few days in between. It seems so Jewish to have us go from holiday to holiday, right? Like, we could spread them out. I said to Merle today, why don't we have Sukkot when it's like warm? We're sitting outside when it's freezing cold. But we don't. I think there's something really beautiful about the cycle of the way all these things connect. What do you guys think?
It's in keeping with what you started on with your sermon on Kol Nidre, evening, Tekiah, wake up. We don't have a lot of time. Let's wake up to that too.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful connection too. I mean, this shofar sound kind of resonates and echoes in the background. Nice.
I think Amichai is right. You don't have time for everything. So pick what's important and do it. And don't regret what you can't do.
Nice. I mean, it's a reminder at this time of year that just having come out of Yom Kippur, there's a reminder that we're not going to be around forever. We don't know how long we're going to be around, but we have a choice of what we're going to do at that time. And yeah, I love that. Nancy?
So comparing the two, Ecclesiastes is aspirational. You know, if only everything was so neatly tied up like it presents it. And Amichai turns it all on its head into reality because life is really messy.
Beautiful. So the way that we kind of wish things were, or hope things could be, or the way we could order them in our minds so that it makes some sense, has to be balanced with reality. That's a little bit like keva and kavana in a way, right? That which is fixed, or that which we write down, which we kind of dream to be. And then there's the messy reality of whatever is going to happen in life. Nice. Yeah. Kathy.
I was just thinking about the technology and how we can live in 2 time zones sometimes and participate when you otherwise wouldn't have time. So there are some advantages that this city that has brought us all this technology, we should be very grateful because it does stretch us a little bit and stretches our community.
Nice. Well, we've ended up in a hybrid space that we've never really been in so long-term before. I mean, we've had experiences, and that's what I was talking about on Erev Rosh Hashanah too, sort of the hybrid emotions that we feel. We find ourselves, Judy keeps telling me this is long-term, that we are going to be hybrid, in person and you know, on the screen too. And there's some wonderful advantages to that because there are people all over the world and in different time zones and in different parts of our lives who can be part of one larger community by choice. Nice. Any other thoughts? Has Unatana Tokef been sort of haunting you as it's been haunting me? Anybody else been hearing those words?
Well, we normally, I love Kohelet, but Kohelet is looking over a whole life. At any one point in time, we are locked into whatever the emotion is, whether it's war, whether it's peace, whether it's love, whether it's hate, whether it's work, or whether it's vacation. We're in one place. I think the comment about technology is correct in intervening in that, because now we all have the Library of Alexandria in our hand, and we can bring anything from anywhere into us at any one moment. But for where we are, you know, think of this sanctuary. It wasn't that long ago when we were wondering whether we could continue here. And all the effort was to get the plan and raise the money to make it sound for at least another 100 years. And now we're in the phase of celebrating that. And that's all behind. And we're on to the next preschool and building that out. So all these things are not things that we tend to see in the big Kohelet picture, at least until we get older and we have more time and reflect back on our lives.
That's so nice, and it connects to what Nancy was saying too about aspirational versus reality. You know, sometimes Judaism sometimes gives us the really big picture, and sometimes we focus on the tiny. I mean, it's human nature, but it's also Judaism. And kind of stepping back to see the big picture kind of relieves anxiety in a way. There's time, over a period of time, but maybe in the moment it feels hurried or that there isn't enough time. I was thinking too, Kathy, you were saying John's in England, my husband's in England, and he happened to call at the moment that we were starting to put together the sukkah. And it's 8 hours later there. So it was getting to be evening, and he called and he said, hey, I just want to say Shabbat Shalom. And I looked up at the moon, and it's almost full. So I know it's about to be Sukkot. I said, oh, wow, that's so great. First of all, that's amazing. I said, but second of all, we're just about to start building the sukkah, because it is about to be Sukkot. And once we kind of get in sync with the rhythms of the world, the hybrid, the times, the time zones, the fact that we're all connected, there's something very powerful, I think, about that keeps us connected throughout the year, not only at the time when we stand together on Yom Kippur to confess our communal sins, and not only on the time of Rosh Hashanah when we come to celebrate something together, but we're reminded that we're seeing the same moon and connecting to the same time throughout the whole year. So thank you all. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
By the way, this is from a book of poems, collections of poems by Yehuda Amichai. If you don't have them at home, I highly recommend getting one of his collections. This one's called A Life of Poetry. We will continue with our service by celebrating things that we share tonight. And I know that we have at least 2 of our 4 birthday people this week who are here. So, what did you say? Are you the representative of the 3rd? Awesome. So at least 3 are represented. Yesterday was Alan Mervis's birthday. Today is Hal Auerbach's birthday. And Al Breslauer. And Al today. Hi, Al. Are you at home? Hello. And tomorrow is Jacqueline Kornblatt's birthday. So I know you guys are known as who are you? The Libra Buddies, okay, who celebrate together every year. So we would like to honor all of you with a happy birthday. And should we have them stand where they are or come up here? What do you think?
They can come up, yeah. Let's.
Another one?
All right, excellent. You want to come
Oh
up
my
too?
gosh, come on up. We're going to celebrate all of our birthdays. How old are you? 11 today.
Mazal tov.
Happy birthday, Mazal Tov. Come on up. Oh my gosh, you have on birthday shoes. Those are the best ever.
Oh, all right.
Those are amazing.
That's probably just gonna.
I think you should you come up since you're representing? How old is your dad today? 91. Amazing. '91, 11, and, other ages. How old are you? 69. Excellent. And Jacqueline, 29. How old are you tomorrow? 29. That's a good one. Awesome. Well, happy birthday to all of you. And Leora is turning 11 years old today. Is that right? So did you get to do something fun for your birthday today? Costco and the dollar store. My kids love those 2 places. That's awesome. And did you find something fun I think the dollar store is the greatest place in the world. Yeah. What did you find? A lot of Halloween stuff. I know, but it's really the $1.25 store now, huh? It's different.
That's how they get you.
I know, they get you in, but it's a fabulous place. Well, I hope that this is the beginning of an amazing year. And I'll say to all of you guys, Ad Me'av is streamed to 120. I know your mom hates it when I say that, but your dad, to 120, because that's how long Moses lived. And so it's a great honor to say to 120 years old, may you have strength and clarity like Moses did, continue to lead us and to be joyful and not to hear too many kvetches from the people around you.
Jacqueline, would you like to lead our Shechianu? I got the words here. Yes, I do. Right here for you.
Okay, where are they?
Right there.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehekianu v'kiyimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
Thank you so much for chanting. Happy birthday.
Thank you, God, for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to reach this time. Happy birthday. Are there other simchas in our community? Anybody else celebrating anything else wonderful?
My mom's here. It's nice.
That's very nice.
Mom's going home. Kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Do we all have funny accents? I would think so. Leora, tell us, can you tell us all the people that came with you tonight? It seems like you have a whole entourage, like your whole, castle came with you. Who are all these people that you brought? I know. Can you stand up and really loudly introduce them? And I know you are a wonderful big sister and a little sister, right? In a big family. What number are you? Number 2 out of 6, right? So that deserves a prize all by itself. That's awesome. Congratulations, Mazal Tov. No other simchas in our community?
We were all busy this week.
I know, we're all really busy, right? I would say that was a huge simcha. Being able to be back together in this beautiful space and with our community was really exciting. So we were delighted. We look forward to celebrating Sukkot with you and Simchat Torah. And
Naomi and Spencer just joined the synagogue, right? Yes, which is a wonderful cultural celebration. So welcome, thank you.
That is too. Will you guys introduce yourselves? Is the microphone still out there somewhere, or did we? Oh, it's coming. Oh, thank you, Alan. It's so great because people really have a hard time hearing in here, especially with masks on. Naomi and Spencer are going to tell us about themselves. Did you just move to San Francisco? Oh, it's not on.
There we go. It should be. Yeah. Try it.
Okay.
Yay.
Well, we met on the Birthright Israel trip, and we've been shul shopping. We really like this synagogue, and so we decided to get more involved. We wanted to take the Introduction to Judaism class and be able to attend the High Holy Days.
Cool. You have good taste.
She kind of stole my answer. But so I'm more or less new to Judaism. My mom's Jewish, but was raised in a secular household, but went on Birthright in the summer and had a transformative experience and have been coming to Sherith ever since. My mitzvah that I committed to in Jerusalem was to go to Shabbat for a year, hopefully longer, but that was, I figured I'd put a reasonable time frame on it. But so far I've been loving it, and Sherith Israel's been amazing, and I'll also be taking the intro class starting next week.
Great. Yay. Look forward to seeing you there. Okay, great.
Shabbat shalom, guys.
Shabbat shalom and welcome. Wonderful. Well, we look forward to a year filled with simchas, and we'll just keep saying Shehechianu for all of our firsts. We join together in Aleinu and stand as we turn to page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We turn to page 295. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. If you were observing Shiva or Shloshim, the first 7 or 30 days of mourning for a loved one, please stand and share a name with us. Please remain standing. For Shloshim, we remember in our community Mark Himmelstein. If you're observing the first year of mourning for a loved one, please stand and share a name with us. We remember also in our community our Rabbi Emeritus, Rabbi Martin Wiener. The perpetual memorials in our community are Shoshana Chana Asher and Joseph Sattler. If you're observing a yard site, please stand as your loved one's name is read. Luba Barbalat, Avse Barbalat, Isaac Deller, Lillian Deller, Jack Fessel, Yasha Gelman, Harry Horn, George Hurwitz, Irving Koss, Arthur Oppenheimer, Sandy McCollum Owen, Gilbert A. Peepo, Yetta Sudway, Alex Temkin, Pauline Temkin, Ann Weitzman, Morris Wexler, Samuel Zigman. If there are other yard sites that you are observing, please share a name. May the memory of all the righteous who came before us continue to be a blessing and to inspire us. We stand with our mourners on page 294. You will find Kadisha Tom. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach yirtei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekucha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to mourners everywhere. And we say together, amen. Please be seated just for a moment. A few announcements. I have no idea what they are, though. Oh, let's see. Our Oneg is sponsored by Edward and Janet Romanoff. Thank you so much for sponsoring that Oneg tonight. Is that in honor of our 11-year-old birthday? That's beautiful. Yay, Leora! So thank you all so much. And tomorrow morning, Torah study will be on Zoom with George Altshuler at 9:15. At 10:30, there is Tat Shabbat in the park. So please join. Is it Cantor Glaser and Carolyn?
Carolyn and Melita, actually. Yes.
Carolyn and Melita. Please join them tomorrow morning in, is it Lafayette Park?
Alta Vista.
Alta Plaza.
Alta Plaza. Sorry, Alta Vista's a thing. It's a web browser.
Alta Plaza Park. There you go. More information is available from people who know much more than I do, like Peter.
10:30, yes.
10:30 tomorrow. Next Friday night, there are all kinds of Sukkot things happening, and the following weekend, and that Sunday also will be our celebration of Simchat Torah. So holidays 3 and 4 in this holiday cycle. As these guys mentioned, our Introduction to Judaism class is beginning on Wednesday, October 19th, and all are welcome. We've had people who have been longtime members of the congregation who have come to learn about Judaism, people who are new to Judaism. It's a really nice opportunity to meet new people and also for many to begin the journey to conversion or to affirmation of Judaism. Yap Shabbat is coming up, a cool game show. Do you want to say anything about those things?
Yeah, so Yap Shabbat on the 21st, October 21st at 8 p.m. We will have dinner for 20s and 30s. Please join us. Who Knows One is an amazing kind of game show of Jewish geography, I believe, that we will be hosting here on, is it Saturday?
Sunday the 23rd.
Sunday the 23rd, which should be a lot of fun. And then on the 30th, on Sunday, we will have all-day workshops with the amazing musician Joey Weisenberg. He writes a lot of our music, our Lincoln's Nigun that we start most service with. He will have workshops all day. We'll have collaborating with 2 other congregations, and then he'll be doing a concert in the evening. So please get your tickets online. It should be amazing. Colleen will be singing with us, and can't wait.
Awesome. We turn to page 5 and stand for Kiddush.
I need a sitter. All right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
That's right. And we have apricot and chocolate. Yes. All right. Excellent. I'll hold it up first. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. I got a chocolate piece. It's really good. Really, really good.
Page 328 for.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we do that,
yes.
Let's just check in with Peter. We do have our community dinner, right? Next Shabbat. Yes, community dinner after the sugar at 7:15. So please join us. And there's a kids program at 5. It's on the leaflet. But yes, just wanted to point that out. Yeah, we're going to close with Ein Adir.
מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל, מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל. אין אדיר כאדוני, אין בדיר, אין זמרם, אין גדולה כתורה, ואין דשניה כישראל. מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל, מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל. אין הדור כאדוני, אין ותיק כבן המרן, אין זכה כתורה, ואין חכמיה כישראל. מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל, מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל. אין טהור כאדוני, ואין יחיד כבן המרם, אין כבירה כתורה, ואין למדניה כישראל. מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל, מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל. אין פודק אדוני, אין צדיק כבן המרן, אין קדושה כתורה, ואין תומכיה כישראל. מפיאל ומפיאל יברך כל ישראל, מפיאל ומפיאל יבורך כל ישראל.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos. Thank you so much, as always, to Jonathan Dimmick as well, our wonderful music director. Thank you to Peter and Zach, too.
And Alan.